Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Let's take a look at the ABRSM Grade 6 Music Theory. My lessons are available on my Patreon channel, and in particular we're going to take a look at question 1b, exercise 2. Here we have a flute sonata by the Baroque composer Telemann. We are in a minor key and we are required to compose a bass line and also to add figures to show the harmonies that our bass line is implying. Of course, we need to observe all of the rules of 4-part harmony, and in this particular exercise, as we are in a minor key, we have the opportunity to compose a tierce de Picardy or a Picardy third at the end of the composition. The full lesson can be found on my Patreon channel. If you visit patreon.com/Sharon Bill, you can find the full lesson there, and you can find links to this lesson in the cards and in the description box below. After this short little video, sample examples taken from this full lesson can be seen to show you how I work with you note by note, step by step, and bar by bar, explaining all of the points of consideration to successfully complete this exercise. You can find links to this lesson in the cards and in the description box below. Everything you need to understand all of the points of harmony in this advanced level music theory can be found in my Harmony and Composition textbook. This book is available from Amazon, and you can find links to this in the cards and in the description box below. Enjoy your studies! So we're starting off with a generic chord 1, and it starts off in root position, but we can see it's going to wander off all over the place. Then we get a chord 1b going into chord 1 here. And we've got a sense of how we're going to get some movement in the bass line. Now, I don't think it works to have too many massive harmony changes. We still need to keep some sense of what's of kind of cohesive harmony. So here we've got a D and a B. So I think it makes sense to use the same chord, a chord 2 and an inversion. So I'm going to go, we need to be careful what we're doubling though, don't we? So that's a D, that's our third. So if we have that in root position, and then we'll have that in first inversion because that's the root note there. So it's sort of like swapping over what's happening in each voice part. So that would be the B and that would be the D, wouldn't it? Although you can double the third in a minor chord. Now then here, this is a really interesting little section because we have E up a step down a third, D up a step down a third, and what we've got here is a little sequential passage where we have the same theme move down in step. And if you just can't, this is kind of like a hidden Easter egg buried within the game, as it were. We can see here, here's our chord 1, which is an A minor. That would be a reasonable assumption. And then we can see we could have like a chord 4/4b, that's a D minor chord. And if you think, this is an excellent opportunity to talk about cycle of fifths. It took me ages to get my head around these, because if you think an A minor chord, count down 5, A, G, F, E, D, down a fifth. So now let's count down a fifth. It's from D, D, C, B, A, G, and then count down a fifth, G, F, E, D, C. We have a cycle of fifths. And what we've done actually, I think we've gained a few super duper extra brownie points, because in this bar we've actually modulated, just for one bar, a quick blip into C major, the relative major, if we make full use of this cycle of fifths, and then we can get back into A minor key here. So now we need to get back to A. So we've got a B to an A. So we want a sort of a 5-1 of sorts, don't we, to get us back. So let's just soften that down. Now if I go a G, it's a good opportunity to show our figures here. So 5B to 1. And then we have a B. So let's have a 2B. That would be a note D, wouldn't it? And then 5-1, perfect cadence, E, A. Okay. So that's a G sharp. It needs the note, doesn't it? Now you could think, let's have a passing note to get us here. But then an F to a G sharp is going to be an augmented interval. And then we'd have to think about the rising melodic scale, so you'd have to have an F sharp. So I'm not going to do a passing note. I want to just sort of move into that and avoid too much complication. Now here, that is just chord 1 to finish, but there's a lovely little Baroque device where we actually finish by raising the third in the tonic chord. That's called a tierce de Picardy, or a Picardy third, and it's the most beautiful moment where it's as if the sunshine comes out, and the whole piece, apart from our little exception here, is in a minor key, and then at the very end we just switch to tonic major,